Me again, the puzzle master, coming at you with a video about Chaga. I've done videos about Chaga in the past, so if you've seen those, you probably already know a little bit about what Chaga is. It's a mushroom, a polypore mushroom, which poly means like many, so it has many pores. It's not like a normal mushroom in the sense where if you're looking at it like this, how it has the striations that come out from the center, like, you know, like gills. It doesn't have gills, and it doesn't grow like a mushroom cap. It grows like a hard woody tumor on birch trees, and it can grow on other trees. It can even grow on like maple, but it's like 1% of the chaga that's found out in nature is going to be of that nature. It'll only be found on birch, mainly white birch. You can find it on yellow birch, and it's just as beneficial nutrition-wise. It contains high levels of many phytonutrients, and it's a wonder why many people don't know of chaga. It is a medicinal herb that was used even in China and in Russia, dating back like 3,000 years. 3,000 years, okay? In China, it was called the gift from God, okay? So it was pretty special. I made some of it. This is what it looks like. It's as dark as coffee. The dark color comes from melanin, which is what gives the chaga its really dark outer crust. The crust on chaga has high melanin content because, just like people, when we get a suntan from the sun, the chaga has built up a tolerance to sun exposure, because, you know, it's not just like a normal mushroom that, you know, every season comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. The chaga is in the sun constantly, like on the tree, like it's exposed to the elements, and it doesn't move around, so it's just got to evolve. It's evolved to deal with the climate conditions. Chaga also only grows in the highest northern tundra areas. So if you were looking at a Google Earth view of like down on the North Pole, it only grows in a small ring around the northern tundra. And near the equator in the United States, you cannot find chaga. It's a blessing that we have it in Canada. And you just need to go out in the woods and look for it, and if you go out with a good heart, you will find it. You just have to kind of know where to look. A couple little hints I can give you is that chaga, because it forms as it's a parasitic mushroom, and it grows like almost in symbiosis, but it is parasitic. Like, it's not true symbiosis because it eventually kills the birch tree that it lives on, so it's not fully symbiotic, but it's very healthy for you to ingest. And you'd never think that you walking through the woods and you see this black tumor, just do a Google image search of chaga. You'd never think, let's take a hammer, a rock, smash that off the tree, boil that in some water and drink it. You'd never think that, but it turns out that it's been used for thousands of years for longevity, well-being. It can be used as a calming agent. A lot of people use it as a coffee substitute because it has, I make it very strong too. If you make chaga, do not just boil the chaga in water for like 20 minutes. Boil it for at least a good hour, hour and a half, even like 3 hours. But keep in mind that if you're doing the process like for 3 hours, the extraction process, you also want to be using distilled water, because if you keep boiling it down from tap water, the levels of fluoride, because fluoride doesn't evaporate away from the solution, are going to become very highly concentrated in your water. So don't just use tap water if you're making a boiled down concoction. If you're just making like if you're only going to boil it for maybe half an hour or something, then don't worry, you could use tap water. But if you're going to be boiling it down for like 3 hours, use distilled water. What else can I tell you about chaga? Okay, so the melanin, it has melanin in it, which is, melanin is an SOD, and is not found in very many foods. It's not really found in many at all. And it's an SOD, which is super oxide dismutase, which, okay, it's a super oxide. Everyone's all hyping and raving about the, antioxidants and how beneficial they are for anti-aging properties. Well, what do you think a super antioxidant, like a superoxide? It's the same thing, except it's super. Like, it's much more efficient at getting rid of free radicals, which are cancer-causing agents that we're constantly exposed to in our environments, and like from smoke in the air and like toxins and stuff in our water and fluoride in our toothpaste. We're constantly being bombarded with these negative influencing chemicals, and we can help to combat that with some ancient remedies. But yeah, I hope this video has been informative for you. There is a lot more to Chaga than I could put in a 6-minute video. It also has betulinic acid, which if you look at pictures of it, the inner core, which is kind of like a golden yellow color, almost like the color of honey, that color comes from betulinic acid. And again, betulin is very hard for our bodies to digest as betulin, which betulin it's what makes birch bark white. Sorry, that's what. And normally, like if you were to make birch bark tea, you wouldn't get any of the health benefits of the betulin because our body can't absorb it. It's just not compatible. But the chaga, being parasitic fungus, leaches the nutrients of the betulin out of the tree, converts it into betulinic acid, which our bodies can absorb, and very beneficial for our anti-aging, stress, combatants with stress, and it's just so good for you that's why I have to make this video. I just have to spread the word for this. So I hope that you have enjoyed. Please like this and check out my other videos if you're interested in that, and like those ones too. And thank you for your time. Namaste.